Hello everyone from the Vegan and Plant Powered Show to my kitchen. In Australia, I am Simon Toohey and I am honoured to be able to give you a little masterclass on this dish. And you all have it in front of you if you're watching, and I hope you do, so cook along with me. I won't go too fast, I promise. And then on the side, once this dish goes in the oven, I won't tell you too much about it just yet, I have a cocktail and I have some Calvados and some Pedro Jimenez and some amazing little Chinese pears. I'll tell you about those later. That's gonna be an amazing cocktail. And then I got a fermentation session to go with you. So it's a triple whammy, not a single, triple. A beautiful dish you're gonna cook, then you get to make a cocktail while you're waiting. Then while you're waiting still, you get to ferment some onions, pull the dinner out, ready to eat. So without further ado, I am gonna be making a hot pot using these beautiful rice and some eggplant, some browned leeks, which I love, olives, heaps of herbs, and some carrots, and some spices. Excuse me. And it's all gonna be one pot wonder. Super, super simple. Just a bit of time and love is all you need. And when it comes to food, it's exactly what we have. On the back behind me here, I'm just gonna put a pan on. Medium heat. Bit of oil in. Okay. And the reason why I'm doing this is because a lot of the times people forget that when it comes to flavor, vegetables seem to miss out. A lot of steaming, a lot of boiling, a lot of overcooking. Vegetables have exactly the same ability to create flavor like meat does when you add color. And leeks are a classic example of that. And what I'm gonna do is put the leeks cut side down. I've taken the tops off. These are great to use in stocks down the line, so don't throw them out. You can also char them and then dry them and then make them into oils. Really beautiful. But I've taken them, the greens off, and then I've cut them straight down the middle. And the leeks are, are known for their soily bits inside. Yeah, coming close. So in here's all the leeks. So when you wash it, make sure you always keep the cut side facing down towards the sink, and you wash it down through here so it doesn't push the dirt back up into the stalk and get stuck. So I've just washed these, pretty simple, nothing scientific about it. But what I want to do is I want to get the cut part, so the fresh, newly exposed sweetness from the leek, and I'm going to put that on the oil and the pan that we've just heated up, and I'm going to get some color in that, and that's going to drive flavor through the rest of the dish. Come on in. Don't think it's going to be hot enough now, but it's okay. Oh, a little bit of sizzle, a little light on, ready? Oh. The difficulty sometimes of cooking at home is light, I think. But if you take a little squeeze to your right, look at this little French onion soup that a friend of mine and I have been making for a long, long time. Ooh-wee! Delicious, plant-based as well, onions. I mean, look, it's a bit of a theme going on. So I'm gonna let those sit for a bit. You can put a weight on there, which is pretty cool. That always works, just helps to sort of, oh my gosh, I'm really struggling here. It helps just keep them flat. So a little weight on, speed up the process. Clean up as we go along. Look at this. Look at this. Little olive bread. Olive sourdough. Ooh. Speaking of olives, another flavor bomb when it comes to plant-based eating. Olives, Kalamata olives. I've just got these pitted, and they're going to go in to add that salt hit that I want. So, got some, maybe 50 grams-ish. You could weigh it. No, about 50 grams. And this really is up to you, because you can have as much or as little as you want. If you're an olive lover, then, put more in. But if you don't like olives, which I know some friends of mine don't, then leave them out entirely. Maybe put capers in. That's a really good option. Capers is a really good substitute. Or preserved lemon would be really cool. I love that. Yeah, they're good ones. So I've got those chopped up, really roughly chopped. I'm just going to reiterate the fact that this is a super, super simple dish. So the people that you cook have obviously dropped off the meal kit to you. Hopefully everything is there and ready to go. And you're just following along. I've got my carrots here. Now I've just got little Dutch carrots and I've taken the tops off, but you can use just a regular carrot. I really want you to understand that this dish is really create your own journey by you, not necessarily by me. I've given you the book, and now you just have to fill in the words and the pages with. You just have to fill in the pages with words, but keep it simple, because when you come home from work, the last thing you want to do is slave over the stove for a long period of time, trying to cook for 4, 5, 2 even people. This allows you to get all the prep done, dump it into a pot. You can do it into a regular stove. A regular stove. Silly Simon, use your words right. You can do it, in one of these, if you like. Just a regular pot. A lid is preferable. That's great. But I've got this. This is my grandmother's old Royal Dalton. Dalton? Made in Australia. Oven to table, it says. How's that for marketing? Right. Carrot's done. It's just a beautiful little bit of texture. Our eggplant, top off, hang out there. Now the thing I love about eggplant, I think, because this is a huge eggplant. Look at the size of that. So I'm just going to go half. You can go whole. Obviously, the more the merrier. You want to come have a look? Okay, stay there. I'm going to get a little spatula. Let's have a look and see how they're going. Oh, a little bit of colour. Oh, that's looking good. And I'll show you what we're going to do with it afterwards as well. What we're going to do afterwards is the fun part. Right, back it up. So, keep clean, Simon, keep clean. I will put the fan on, but I think it might deafen all this. Slice these into cubes. The thing I love about eggplant is its ability to soak in so much flavour. There we go. If you get 2 bigger pieces, again, roughly chops, that's probably a little bit too big because we're not frying it, so it's not really going to set and shrink. What we are going to be doing is we're going to be soaking it in a lot of liquid in here, so it's going to draw in all this flavour, and it won't get smaller. So we're going to get them a little bit more into the bite-sized sort of realm. Again, classic me. Chill out. Don't have to make it perfect. I'm giving you permission to be creative here. Dill, parsley, as much or as little as you like again, but I'm going to take, there we go, a few stalks, right? This is going to go in at the start, and then, this is going to go in at the start, and then we're going to put a little bit more at the end as well. And come over and have a look at these leeks. I reckon they're done. Squeeze. Yes, look at that. That is beautiful. Take these off the heat. Bring these back over with me. They're looking really good. Yes. So what this colour, what we call the Maillard reaction, which is fatty acids mixing with sugars, what this does is create that roasty, toasty flavour. So, caramelised onions, for example, is what that flavour comes from. The other one you get that flavour from would be like toast. Toast is that wonderful classic world of Maillard, which is that toasty flavour which you get. This is what that is, and that's just going to impart flavour into the rest of this dish. So if you've taken those leeks off, and if you haven't yet, that's okay. Make sure you try and get this colour. You want to get it as close to this as possible. A little darker, perfectly fine. This one could probably go a little bit longer if you so wish, but I'm okay with where we're at. Back to my dill, just quickly. Don't freak out. If you're cooking along right now and you're like, oh, it's going too fast. I'm sorry, I'll slow down. Just slow down for you. But all we're doing is taking our leeks, and I've made this dish so many times, so it's just muscle memory now. And also I just make a lot of it, I just kind of make up as I go along. But I've chopped up a nice palmful of dill. That's gonna hang out here on my board. Right, then come across parsley, grab. And the thing that people forget is parsley stalks. Parsley stalks are absolutely amazingly delicious and totally edible. So, same thing with the parsley. I reckon I've got a good handful of parsley there. Look at that, there we go. Then, finally, my stock. I just use a stock cube because I always have, what do I call it? I just call it emergency stock. I mean, I have a lot of stuff in my freezers full of onion skins and garlic skins and fennel bulbs, you know, that are going, or vegetables that are going a bit south, maybe sort of like a couple of carrots that aren't so good, and then I make stock. But sometimes I don't have stock. So I have what I call emergency stock, which is stock cubes. And they're great, they're absolutely fine. I don't have a problem with them at all. I think people really should just go with what they're used to. And I needed stock today, and here we go. I've got it. It's utterly perfect. And I've got 400 mils there, and I've got 250 grams of rice. Or I got a cup of rice, and I got, because I'm being a bit bougie today, a bit of saffron. I love saffron. Really, really nice. Okay. So jump with me. Let's have a look. There's a fly here. Come in close. Let's have a little checklist of what we've got. Let's clean up a bit here. A bit of a mess. Apologies. Let's have a look here. We've got coriander seeds and cumin seeds there, teaspoon of each. I've got a palm full of dill, more or less up to you. All of this is more or less up to you. Again, same with parsley. Over here, I've got my eggplant. Easy peasy. Carrots, my baked leeks, my beautiful Kalamata olives. Yum, 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 yum. Stock. Saffron. Now, while you're probably maybe catching up on your end, let's talk about substitutes, because it's important to know that people don't have to like everything, and it's okay. So we talked about those olives you can substitute. Leeks, you could use regular onions, and you can do exactly the same process if you want. You don't have to put leeks in there at all. You can put something else entirely. What else can we do other than leeks? Spring onions, garlics. I have to look through the thing. You can do fennel, thin slices of fennel. Oh, delicious, great. You could use that instead. So there's heaps of options you can do here. Eggplant, again, you don't have to do that. You can use mushrooms or some other one to substitute with. And you can even go down the root veg style and stick with the carrots. You could do maybe celeriac. You could do turnips or swede. I've done this with radishes before. Really, really cool. Love it with radishes. So definitely available to try. Okay, back in. Coming close. This is the fun part. I'm going to create it now. Sounds like we're going, well, we're pretty much done when it comes to the creativity of it all. We've cooked just this so far. And I'm going to throw in, I'm going to measure this. I think it's, I don't really measure it when I'm making it myself, but I'm going to measure it. Okay, already full, there's a cup there, give or take. Rice at the bottom. Pretty simple. Awesome. Now for the fun part. So we get creative. Leeks. I've just chopped the tail off. These are actually really good. I love eating the bottoms of the leek. If you actually put that in a hot pot, and I'll put one in there, I'll show it to you later on, it turns into this beautiful, chewy deliciousness. And as long as there's no oil in, no dirt in there, happy days. All right. Layering time. So all we're doing is creating layers of flavor through that amazing cooking you did from those leeks. Here we go. Placing them in here. And these, as they steam with the stock in the oven, they will impart a lot of flavor into that rice. Not only that, the flavor into your eggplants, flavor into your carrots, the flavor of the beautiful olives as well. And that's just one layer, right? Let's go round two. Cut the bottom off. Come back to me here. Layers. Kind of making this sort of like leek style lasagna, really, aren't we, in some ways, without the mince. But look how shiny that is. I mean, I just love it. It's when food excites you, is when you know it's going to taste good. Put this upside down. Great. And then let's go. Carrots, top. I'm just being a little bit creative here. You can just dunk it all in if you'd like, but when it comes to the table and you have this sort of jewel reveal, I think that's really cool. Great. More olives. So I've just used 1 leek there, which is all you need. But if you have a bigger pot, use it all, or chop these up and throw them in as well. Last bit. And then finally, our herbs. Not finally, because we've got the spices to go in as well. Herbs. Look at that. Maybe we just eat it raw. It looks so good. Spices in. Cool. Cheeky bit of saffron. I'm going to put that in the stock. I probably should have done that at the start. But if you have hot water, it's all right, this will still work because it will definitely heat up. And stock all around the top. Beautiful. I think pretty good. I don't know if you're going to be able to see in there. Oh, there we go. In that corner. See that? You see that all right? Beautiful. So that stock is holding on tight. And don't forget, you might think there might not be enough stock in there. The vegetables are full of liquid. Oh, seasoning. Ha! Imagine. Salt. Don't forget your salt. Season. Beautiful. This is a Celtic salt, so it's quite strong. Don't want too much. As it cooks, you know, the eggplant will release its liquid, the carrots will release their liquid, the leeks will release their liquid as well, and then it's just going to become this beautiful amalgamation of flavour. Lid on. And everyone out there who's watching and cooking along, that is it. I have the oven at 180 degrees, and I'm going to put it in there for 30 minutes. Check on it then, see how it's going. If there's a little bit of soup left at the bottom, a little bit of stock left at the bottom where the rice is cooked, perfect. If there's all soup gone and the rice is cooked, perfect. If the rice is still a little bit hard, then either add a little bit more water if you've run out, or keep cooking it. But 30 minutes lid on, 10 minutes lid off, all done. See you in about 40 minutes. Welcome back. I don't know if you've gone anywhere, but as you can see, everything's cleaned down and we're moving into the fun part, the precursor to dinner, which is that little cocktail that I love. This one is all about celebrating Calvados. You can use brandy. Okay, you know what? Let's start, don't stop recording, but let's just start from the start. I'm going to be making a Calvados cocktail stirred down with a bit of pink pepper, some heat, some warmth, some floral flavors, really cool. And then finishing off with these beautiful things called fragrant pears from, they're from the deserts of China. So be sure to make this cocktail with these. No, use regular pears, absolutely fine. Cloudy apple juice, fine. Nashi pears, also fine. But I've got my hands on some of these and these are delicious. So, and it's very rare that you can get your hands on these, so good timing. And it's gonna be a stir down cocktail. Stir downs. I love them, but people say sort of have those stirred down cocktails after dinner, but I'm the reverse. I like them before. I like that sort of like warmth, and I think that gets my, you know, my saliva glands bursting and ready for, you know, course number one of course, 20 course degustation. But we're gonna make this one. It's beautiful. Calvados. Calvados is an apple brandy. It uses apple for fermentation, then distilled. You don't have to use Calvados. You should be able to get it in most bottle shops now, but if you can't, You can find apple brandy because obviously it depends on where you are. But regular brandy's fine. You can use rum. You can use whiskey. It's all okay. But something dark and aged is where you want to go with this. But Calvados, for this purpose, this cocktail, I think is fantastic. What else have I got? I've got Pedro Jimenez. Now this is an Australian Pedro Jimenez. Really cool. So it uses the Pedro Jimenez grape. Usually from Spain is where we probably pretty much always know most of our Pedro Jimenez to come from, or most of our sherries. And it's not that sherry that, I don't know if you have that in South Africa, but in Australia we have the Bristol Cream. It's like no offense, but it's the grandparents' sherry. It's the thing that's just so sweet and awful. This is nothing like it. This has got care and love, and like the grapes are held for a long time, and so they have a really high sugar content. Then it's aged beautifully, and I could go on for ages about it, but it's awesome. If you can't find Pedro Jimenez, most bottle shops should have it, but if you can't find it, like a sweet wine, maybe a port, a muscat, something like that. You know, like fortified wine. Fortified. Have a look into that. You could even use, you know what, just to continuously ramble, you could even use like a sweet vermouth. And they're definitely readily available everywhere, so you can jump on that. Pink pepper. This is pink pepper syrup. There's a tablespoon of pink peppercorns to 30 grams of sugar, 30 mils of water, hot water, stirred until it dissolves and the flavor is there. Brilliant. And then finally the pears. And I'm gonna get into making it. It's pretty easy. Oh, this is one more thing. I can't stand these containers. They drive me up the wall, but what they are good for is I don't buy those little ice thingies and put them in the freezer. I fill these up and they stack. So I can stack like 6 high and put them in my freezer and I get a block ice. I don't know if you've ever been to a cocktail bar and told that, oh, they sell these big block ices. Well, block ices. Anyway, they serve these block ice. Well, you can do it at home and it's simple. And then you get a bread knife, coming real close. I have an itchy nose, I'm sorry. The itchy nose more sometimes. Oh, hay fever, right. So watch. Just, some people probably hate this sound. My mother definitely hates this sound. Bosh! Look at that. Perfect. How good is that? And so slower dilution, because there's more of it. And you can make it, obviously, it'll have to be circular ones. You can get them square or rectangular, whatever you want. So big cubes of ice. Wicked! Right, so into our glass with these. Great. We can do. Yeah. Let's make it gluttonous. Look at that. Bam. Big cubes of ice. And the best thing about this, if you're like me, you actually, this ice won't dilute. So all you have to do is, top up maybe with one more cube next time, but they'll last for ages and ages and ages. Here we go. Calvados. I want 40 mils. No, I'm gonna go 30 mils. 30 mils of Calvados. Awesome. Now this cocktail comes off the back of a treacle, which is kind of like a twist again on an old fashioned. Stirred down whiskey drink. But a treacle tops it with apple juice. They use rum, I think, from memory. But we're sort of running off that mindset of something that's really dark and heavy, topping with something sort of really light and refreshing. In fact, I'm sorry. I'm not really that sorry. We're going to go 40 mils. So an extra 10 mils each. Because we've got a big enough glass here, I think. Yeah, I think we do. Then we're going to go a bar spoon or a teaspoon, 5 mils-ish, of your syrup. 3 to 5 mils is usually a bar spoon or a teaspoon, depending on which one you use. And then finally, 15 mils of your Pedro Jimenez. Super Christmassy. Raisins, chocolate, sort of like oaky woodiness, leather, that sort of style. And I don't know if you heard that little knock down in the background. It's my little puppy Lentil just falling over. Yep, done in each. Cool. So if you think about this now, you can see you've got warmth from like an apple distillate, like Calvados. You've got spice notes from pink pepper, and then sweet spice notes from your Pedro Jimenez. Really, really cool at the moment. One great thing about cocktails that people really need to think about and forget about is dilution. Dilution is super, super important when it comes to cocktails. If you just start having raw spirit, it just, you know, when it comes to like mixing drinks, it's not great. It's not great at all. Okay, now coming really close here, I want to show you something. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear this because there's murmurs of the oven with our little hot pot going on in there. But listen to this. Listen to this, ready? That is crunch. Oh, wait, stay there, ready? It is pure juice. Oh! Fragrant pears, game changer. But any regular pear, fine. I'm just lucky that I've got a hold of these. Right. Is it on? It's on. We're juicing it. We are. Pears in. Oh my God, Robert, I'm already. I'll sit down. Pears in. I want 30 mils. Look how much juice is coming out of that. That's crazy. It is pure juice. Even the pulp is juice. So 30 mils per baby. And now, as you can see, I'm making two. They're not both for me. Someone has to hold the camera. I've got to pay their wage, you know. I've got to pay their wage. I think when the vegan and plant-powered festival team sort of asked me to make a cocktail, I jumped at it because there's nothing like a good afternoon cocktail. All right, I reckon that's enough. Off. There's a little switcheroo. Juice is there. Finish my pear off. You know what? Save the seeds, dry them, put them in the fridge, and see if you can grow your own. You can grow your own. I mean, I don't know if our climate's really going to help it. But these pears grow in desert, like really flat lands, and they get glacial water from Tibet, and they feed that glacial water to water these plants, to water the trees, and you can't actually walk on the soil because you'll sink. And then for 2 months of the year, I think they dry it out entirely so they can go and harvest all pears. Mind blowing. I mean, the things that people do. Right. Little stir again. Clean up your station. Taste. Oh, yep. Now before this goes brown, because that's what, you know, has that possibility. Top with that juice. Oh. A lot more volume there, and then here we go. Just to finish it. A classic thing I'm going to try and do. See if we can do it. I haven't done this for a long time. I'm going to make an apple or a pear fan. I learned this in London. This will impress the judges. Okay, take off the edges. Here we go. Take off the smallest. There we go. Okay. Then just keep going. Hold it somewhat similar to the middle. Just keep going. Keep going. Oh, I think I've over pushed this. Yeah, I've definitely done it. Oh no. So if you get it right, and if you do it with apples, because you've got a bigger surface area, then... No! I got too cocky and I stuffed it up. I'm sorry. But there you go. We can do a little apple fan here. Oh my God, can I be rude? Can I just try one more time? Here we go, ready? Let's try one more time. See, if you're playing catch up, this is a good time to, you know, play that catch up game, because... Let's see if we can do this one more time. The sharp ends at the top. Spin, 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 spin. There we go. You won't go all the way. That's perfect. Get rid of you. Okay, here we go. Find the ice. Oh, they're not got enough sugar. It's not got enough It's got not got enough stick to it. All right, well, we're gonna have to go for the old school style and just rest it in. It's got a bit of a blemish, but that's okay. No waste. And here we go. This, to me, is delicious. This is a little simple sort of sipper pre-dinner, or post-dinner, or all night. But Calvados, Pedro Jimenez, pink peppercorns, beautiful pears, amazing, little juice on top, refreshing, light, slightly spicy, and definitely Christmassy. Get into this, and now I'm gonna show you how to ferment some amazing onions. So as you can see, everything has been completely packed down. We're down to our final little section, which is our fermented onions. And I had to do most of it to start with before we started saying yes to the camera because I am tearing up. These are some spicy onions. And all I've got is I've got one red onion and 2 brown onions. And I'm just gonna finish it off. All I'm doing is simple, is taking the skins off and then cutting them into, you know, or half, what are they, new moons, I guess they're called, aren't they? New moons, something like that. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to do it this way either. You can actually do it, you know, into cubes if you really could be bothered going to that effort. But, did I just say effort like that was a South African accent? Was it? Or was it just completely wrong and I just couldn't say the word right? Probably more likely that. Anyway, just trying to, you know, have some fun. Okay, so I finished crying and I finished chopping these onions, and it's pretty simple. All I'm gonna do is use the weight of the onions to balance out the weight of the salt that's gonna help me ferment, because salt creates fermentation. There's 2 different types. There's one using sugar and there's one using salt. Salt will create a lactic acid ferment, and it's also an aerobic ferment as well. So it needs, it's an anaerobic, so it doesn't need air, so it should release without getting any oxygen. All technical, not important at the moment, but I'm going to show you too. Unless you're going into like great detail of ferment history and all that, you don't necessarily need to know. What you do need to know is the percentage of salt, and I would go no less than 2.5% salt to the weight of your ingredients. So I have 550 grams. Oh my gosh, I really put myself in a pickle here. I've got 550 grams of onions. If 1% is 5 grams, 5.5 grams, 2% is 11 grams? 11, so let's just go. Camera person, do you know the 3%? I want 3% salt to 550 grams. You can say it out loud, don't worry. You know, I've given up now.
5, 10, 15.
About 15 grams, right? No. Yeah. Yeah, 5, 10, 15 grams. Yes, okay, 15 grams. So we're gonna go 3% as if it's 500, not 550. And I'm sorry if you're over there yelling at the screen telling me that, you know, what the actual range is. I just am not very good with maths. And so we're gonna do 15 grams of salt. I'm sorry, I said. Right, okay, 15 grams of salt. 9, 13, 14, 16. It's okay, it's all right. You'll be all right. Sprinkle over. Now I do want to flavor my onions. I want to make them in, I love sumac. It's got a beautiful acidity to it. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. And if you get a hold of the sumac, this is beautiful. And I'm just going to add maybe 2 tablespoons of sumac. It is relatively strong, but it's going to cover. Dessert spoon, there we go, it's better. There we go. And it's as simple as mixing this around, getting all the salt to hit all the edges. And I'm going to use my hands because it's the best way to get all that. And what you're trying to do is the salt is going to break down the cells of the onion, and it's going to start releasing all that liquid that onion has. What is really important when it comes to fermentation, there's a few things. One, that your salt ratio is right, and so you really should be looking at 2.5 as a minimum, give or take. You know, this is for people who just want to try fermenting for the first time. Oh my Lord, that is so spicy. And if you have some ski goggles, wear those. The other one as well is it's really important to make sure that the top of your ferment is covered in liquid unless you're using a high percentage. So this is another little rule of thumb. Aiming for the top of it to get covered in liquid. Now what's going to happen here, can you hear that? It's not a great sound. You can hear the liquid already sort of leaching out from those onions. And I'm pretty happy with that. It's all I really want. It's all I want because I know that this is going to slowly rise up. The liquid is slowly going to get more and more as the onions leach out their juices. So into my jar, and I just realized I've made way more than I need to. Got these Kilner jars, they're the best, right? I love, because they're really well reinforced, and they come with these little weights. These weights are great. So what that does is help push out that liquid that you're after without going too crazy. So I'm gonna push it down, not too tight, because you do want the fermentation to, to happen. A little weight on top. So as you can see, the liquid hasn't come to the top yet. Like, I'm very well aware that that is not, it's pretty close though. Come down a little lower. Can you come down a little lower? Can you see where that liquid that liquid line? Come, I reckon an hour, the onions will be covered in liquid. Now, if it doesn't, just add a drop of distilled water or filtered water. You can, if you've got really good clean water, if you're in a place that doesn't have too much chemicals in your water, use regular tap water. And if you don't have one of these weights, like a very well cleaned stone, from the beach or from somewhere around is really perfectly fine. But another one would be like, you can get the stalks of a broccoli, cut the stalk off a little bit and push it down. That can be like the pressure. So this lid goes on. Now I'm gonna finish off the rest of these onions in another jar because I've made enough for me and enough to pay my camera person. So, the one for you, one for me. Dry my hands. And that's it. That is actually it. That, to me, fermented pickled onions, or fermented onions, salt fermented onions with sumac. Now this, leave out, it's summer. So you need to do this. Come in close again one more time. You need to do this every single day. Lift it up. Yep, and then close. Because what happens is the fermentation gas gets caught inside that jar and it needs to get released. If you don't release it, pressure builds up. This is where things can go wrong. It will, or possibly will explode if it doesn't have the ability to release that gas. So you just want to do it every single day. And sometimes if you're in a place which is really, really hot, twice a day. It's quite important. I mean, it's summer now, it's 30 degrees here in Melbourne. Who would have thought that could ever get that warm? But so I do it twice a day, and I'll show you. Just stay there. I'll come back into. Oh golly gosh! I'll come back into frame. Here's some things I've done as well. So here, these are garlic scapes. So as you can see, the liquid there, I actually added water so it would cover the top, and that's gone super sour, like nice and sour, lacto-fermenty. And this is some soured corn that I've done. And this is the same process. If you think about the liquid content of corn, I mean, it's hugely juicy and full of sugars. So I did a dry salt, like exactly the same thing. And it didn't have any liquid, and now the liquid is perfectly formed at the top. So that's what you're gonna look forward to, and it's really delicious. And I've used these onions on burgers, on sandwiches, in salad, I mean, everything. Because come a week, and that's a week, right? About a week, keep tasting it because you'll start to taste this nice sort of vinegary sourness coming about. That's what you're aiming for. So in about a week's time is exactly when you should be putting that probably in the fridge, and that'll last for a really, really long time in the fridge. I mean, I reckon we'll probably eat those in a week easily, like they're just so delicious. But I reckon you should hold tight because the 10 minutes is up with the lid being off my bake. Oh, it's hot. Oh, it's hot. Yes, it is. Oh. Wait, I need something to stop the stop the burning. It's hot. Wait, hold tight. Alright, here we go. Look at this. Look at this. This is a plate of beauty in my mind. I love this so very much. I'm going to get my dill. I'm going to get some more olive oil. I'm going to finish this off with my spoon. Where is it? There we go. Stay there. There we go. Look at that. It's all come together beautifully. The carrots are beautiful. Still got a bit of crunch to them. Right. Look at that rice. Are we in the light? Look at that rice. Look at that rice. Holy! Okay, dig in. Dig in. Oh my gosh, look at the colors. So that flavor from the leeks, from the olives, and everything is sunk into that. All I'm doing is getting a beautiful plate of these delicious vegetables and leeks, and it's really hearty, it's salty, it's sweet, pops of different flavors all around. I think it's decadent. I love things like this. Simple. I mean, how many vegetables are in there? Taste that rainbow is what I'm all after. I'm just going to chop up some more herbs. I've got a bit more parsley there, a little bit more dill. Give that a fine chop. Beautiful. That'll go in a second. Finish with olive oil. Don't be shy. Olive oil is a beautiful fat. It's very good for you. And if I can't have that for lunch or dinner and not be happy with that, then there's something wrong with me. But I know this is delicious because I have that. I reckon I have this a couple of times a month. It's just beautiful. And then now look how much I've got left over. You can feed easily 4 people out of that. Just gorgeous. So everyone at the plant Bowden, oh, let me get my hair. It's all turned. It's so warm, and because we're in lockdown, I can't get a haircut, and it's all a bit Pete Tong. Gone wrong. It's a bit of Cockney rhyming slang. Thank you everyone from the Vegan and Plant Powered Show. You're just amazing. Everyone in South Africa, thank you so much for having me. Thank you for all your support through MasterChef. And thank you to all the sponsors. You cooked for supplying all the food. You are fantastic. Please keep doing amazing things. And I hope to see you over there for the round 2 of this festival next year. My name is Simon Toohey. This is my one pot hot pot, my cocktail which you've had, and my beautiful, where are they? Sumac fermented onions. Love you everyone.
I'm so excited to introduce you to the gentleman, Peter, who hails from Joburg.
You said it so nice.
You know, but now he's in the mother city after spending time in the US, learning tricks of the trade, and now apparently makes the best cocktails in Cape Town.
Hey, social lubrications to make sure we're smiling, guys. How are you doing? How are you?
I'm flushed and you haven't even started making drinks yet. I don't know, I'm just...
don't even start. How's the day?
It's been amazing.
Seeing everything.
It's been incredible.
Got me wanting to, get in here and thank you for having me.
It's even better now that you're here. I'm so excited to see what you're going to make.
Okay, well then let's do this,
Yes.
guys. Like Amy said, Amy, right?
That's right.
I'm on
That's
it.
right.
Look at that. Bartenders are the worst at names, but we do our best, right? But like Amy said, I'm Peter the Gentleman Levisi, hail from Joburg, and I find myself in Cape Town. What I find myself doing is lovely beverages for people with lovely smiles like you. Yes, you have a nice smile. I like the smile. Keep it right. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be keeping it with what my name is, The Gentleman. So we're going to be playing about the gin. But then instead of talking, let's make a drink. Yeah?
Let's
Wanna
get
make
going,
a
I'm
drink?
thirsty.
Okay, let's make this drink. So the first thing we're going to do is, this is a drink that I feel like it's a forgotten classic, you know?
Okay.
And this is a drink which is super simple to make at home.
Yeah.
If you don't have just peachy gin, go to the bottle store and get some just peachy gin. But if you do have some peachy gin, you're good. But if you're not from SA and you can't get this, it's fine. Use a London Dry. Use something a bit sweeter.
Okay.
Use something that has a bit more flavor and character because we're here to play. It's summer, so we want to have those flavors that pop.
Fresh,
right?
banging flavors. Let's
That's
do it.
what we're gonna go
Yes.
on. So for me, Martinez, like this drink for me, it's we all know a martini, right? But one of my favorite drinks is a martini. But like from that, Martinez is the grandfather of the martini. So if you look at that, that's actually one of the first drinks that actually started like this whole cocktail vibe. Right? So it's really simple to make. So we're gonna start with our gin. Always gin, baby, nothing more. And when I go with my gin, I go
It's
50,
a generous
right?
tot.
I got 150 in there because I am making two because I'm sharing. I'm not
Yes,
here all
please,
alone,
please
right?
share.
So since I'm here to share, we're gonna go another 50.
Wow, that looks amazing.
Boom. So all in there, and now that that's in there, I'm gonna leave that here just so you can see it. It's still out there if you're going to see.
Beautiful color.
You come with your vermouth. For me, you normally use your martini vermouth, nice and easy. But then because you want to add a flavor of South Africa and a little bit of that, I also like, this is a chef's show, so I wanted to show that what we as bartenders do, we also do incorporate a lot of like techniques that chefs use. So I actually sous vide my vermouth.
Oh my goodness, so
So-
fancy. Wow.
So yeah, well, you just get a packet, put your liquid in there, add a bit of rooibos in there,
I
add a
see.
bit of citrus or dried citrus, a little bit of vanilla in there, a little bit of vanilla pods, and I got some cinnamon. Let that just
all
simmer
those
for like 40
Christmas
minutes.
flavors, how divine,
So this
yes.
simmers 40 minutes at like 40. So yeah, 40 for 40 minutes, nice and easy, light. And all those flavors, they come out, they have a nice like back end to what your vermouth is. Because your vermouth is herbal and has a sweet character to it. But then with that rooibos, has a bit of that like nostalgic tickle, which is what I want us
Yes.
to get, right? And with that, I'm also just going to go 50 of that, just 150.
Okay.
So going 50 just allows me to make the two, right? So you go 25. Otherwise, if you got a friend like I do, go 50, baby. Look, I'm just going to tell my friends that are sitting at the table to please keep it down, right?
They're getting raucous out
I
there.
got a nod. Now they're going to keep it down. Now let's keep on going, guys. Now that we've got that,
Okay,
you
that
wanna
looks
finish
really
this bad
amazing.
boy off with chocolate bitters. Chocolate bitters just to bring that
Ooh.
sweet, to bring that like nice decadent finish to it. And we're just going to dab
And is
it.
it quite easy to get chocolate bitters?
So at the moment you can get your chocolate bitters. So your bitter truth is what you can get. If you can't get chocolate bitters, just get some Angostura.
Yes.
And just get some cacao nibs. Mash those
Yeah.
up and like just macerate them. Just let that sit in
That
a jar
sounds
and just let it sit.
absolutely
and, like, it'll just bring
amazing.
that
I'm definitely
flavor,
going to
you
do
know?
that, definitely.
Happy days. So a Martinez calls for stirring, right? So normally you'll stir it nice and easy. But then what I'm going to do is, because I want to open up the flavor and I want to give it a nice meatiness to it.
Okay.
So you're going to do something that your wine sommeliers normally would do, is give this an aeration. And how I'm going to do that is like by throwing and rolling it. So from one side to the other.
Oh, do I need to stand back down?
Where you go?
How gorgeous is that colour? Just streaming through, it looks beautiful.
Just
Wow, so you can
Happy
really
days.
smell the fragrance now. Tell us why the aeration is so important for the cocktail.
So the aeration it's mainly like to just give it a better mouthfeel. So like if I stir it, it'll be beautiful, be silky on your palate when you get it. But then what I want you to actually chew this drink, right?
Oh, wow.
So when you
Nice
get it,
and-
like it's beautiful. It has like a nice fullness. So that's what you normally do to wine, aerate it
Yes.
to be full. That's what I'm doing there. So like it has a beautiful chill, but then also has a beautiful like puffiness. So just like when Hope was here talking about the souffle and that, you know, he puffs it up with the agar and all that.
Yes.
That's just what I'm doing. I'm just using the air to get it puffing and
To
just
get it.
going. Yeah, and then we're just gonna strain out our glasses
Beautiful
with our
glasses.
ice in there, you know. So instead of if you have cubed ice at home, go with cubed ice. If you don't have cubed ice at home, just use a regular
Couple
craft
blocks?
ice. Yeah, just
Yeah.
regular blocks. That works out. But like, just make sure that your drink is going to be proper chilled.
Right.
And to be a bit naughty, if we're in a venue, we'd most probably like serve it dainty like that. Get a bit naughty.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
So-
Looks like a little teapot of rooibos.
Right.
Naughty rooibos.
That's it. So we have that on the side there, and then I'll get our citrus expression.
So just a little bit of zest, lemon.
Just a little bit of zest, just to wake it up.
And can you use orange zest, for example, or is lemon really the right flavor that you're looking for
Can
here?
use orange, but I find that like the sharpness of the citrus, of the zestiness and the acid that you're getting from the lemon just has a better mouthfeel. So you want to go with that bad boy, and then we just serve it easy. Like the drink is called is it tea time?
Is it tea time? I love that.
Right?
Yes, it is. It certainly is tea time.
Happy
Please, can it
days.
be?
Oh, fucking
looks
hell, give me
beautiful.
that pouring beat. You want it pour for us?
Yes.
I'm the worst. If it ain't messy, you ain't doing it right. And there it goes. So
That
bang
is
that
divine.
up. And then you can smell it now, like just with that expression of citrus, you still have the citrus coming up a little bit, which is nice and beautiful.
Should I just divide
And,
this equally into the
just
two glasses?
As you go, look at that. You can come work in a bar with us.
Please, can I
soon.
come work with you?
Happy days, we got you.
You're too much
So-
fun.
And to finish it off, I don't really do much of a garnish, but then I'll just put these on the side, so dehydrated peaches, and that's your first little bad boy. It's not peaches.
Amazing.
Have a good time. You're going to cheers and let these guys know that it's better than what they're drinking. Oh. Okay.
Right, so let's do the next one. Very excited to see what you've got up your
Boom.
sleeve.
Happy days. So like we start with like something classic, and I want us to start on something classic just so you understand exactly like what is drinking culturally, you know, like culturally drinking is like, yeah, I want to go back onto like understanding the spirit itself, where the journey of it goes, and just adding one or two other elements and allowing the spirit to grow with us.
Allow it to really
So-
shine, the essence of the spirit.
That's
Okay.
it. And then so now what we're going to do is we're going to do something which is a bit more lighter, refreshing, and it's where you see the trend of drinking going at the moment. The trend of drinking is for consumer. They want a drink which is more called sessionable. So something you can sit on. It's a bit more longer. It's a bit more lighter. It's not heavy on spirit, but it's also not like shy on telling you that there is spirit there,
Okay.
right? Let's make this beverage, guys. So
Let's
this,
do it.
so this
yes.
one we're going to shake. Right, so again, like whenever I'm shaking, I like to make sure that I get my tin all the way up with ice.
Yeah.
Boom. And set it up. So now I'm set, I'm ready to go.
Okay.
My plane is there. So I'm going to start off again with my gin. So nice 50 mils of my Just Peachy. But I'm making two because you are here with me. So boom. Happy days. Normally, guys, it will be like about 35 or so, but hey, look, I'm not playing games here, so I'm gonna go 50. Hello, this is my story. I'm here to drink. But also
here to
remember, let's keep
party.
it responsible, right? Let's keep it responsible. So now that we have our gin in there, goes for our vermouth. And vermouth for me is something I love incorporating into cocktails because it just adds a bit more of like that bold and meatiness. So if you think of like how we use our bitters and our vermouth, it's more like
Yes.
salt and pepper for us. You know,
Yes,
it brings
okay.
that balance, that mouthfeel. It like helps like accentuate flavors or also hide some flavors that we don't want. So vermouth is always a good one. So here we want to go for our Bianco Vermouth. It has a more sweeter, lighter note for it.
Okay.
But also it's like it's rounded. It just like plays well in what the long drink is. And with that, we're just going to go 40.
All right.
Right? Nice 40 of that in there. And then add a light little bit of citrus just to bring a little bit of balance.
So, I mean, this is,
So-
it's lime, right?
Oh, it is.
Oh, it's lime.
It is lime. It's a bit of lime, you know, like it's just there just to bring that balance, that acidity. So again, like the salt and pepper, for me, this acidity is this is where I add it in. So I'm just also gonna go like 15 of that. So I'm just gonna go cool, just a little bit more.
Oh, I love
Happy
lime.
days. Yeah, like that just adds that boldness. It's
Yes.
gonna be me. It's gonna give you like a lot more of that like tap dance on your taste buds.
I love it.
And then we're gonna finish it off with just we gotta here what you have is so it's a peach marmalade preserve and peach syrup.
Oh,
So I made
wow.
like 3 different of them, and
Oh
we
my
just
goodness.
like batch
so you
them
made
together.
this yourself?
Make it at home. Yeah,
incredible.
we just like batch it in, just like 2 bar spoons. Let's get a
I
little
could
bit
spread that on
excited.
toast. That looks so
You
good.
sure can. I've been told that I make jam like an Afrikaans stunny, so it's got something going for me. Put this away quick. Now that's out the way. And then this is shake and drink. So let's get shaking. Firstly, before we shake, guys, let's just make sure we discard our excess water.
Yes.
You're always going to have something like that, so let's discard that. There we go, all the way up.
Oh,
And this is the thing about shaking. Shaking's like going to the horses. When you go to the horses, you hear the ground of the horses like gallops. Boom, 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 boom. It's a rhythm. And when you shake, have that rhythm, but be with it. So you want to be that horse that's getting to the front, right? So you're going to do that. You're going to be
I'm
holding
ready.
this while I shake. You got it. 1, 2, 3. I think
Little
that's
arm
it.
workout.
Got it like quick, hard, burstful. Nice 10
Wow.
seconds of a shake will actually give it all in there. And the whole thing is that if you give it a nice hard shake, that is like that gallop, has that one motion, bang, 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 bang. You're making sure that now your spirit is rolling through your ice, and like
Yes.
your ice is now staying compact and it's not melting. So you're cutting on your dilution. The whole thing is I want to chill. I don't want to dilute my
Yes.
box. I just want to chill it and keep it right. Boom.
Wow. Smells
That out the
incredible.
way, and then forgive those. They could have been better.
Again, getting rid of the excess water. Those ice cubes are beautiful, but you can just
Right.
use ice
You
blocks.
can just
can't
use
have- yeah.
regular cubes or so, but then it's gonna be light and easy. So
That is so beautiful. I love
give it a
that.
that. And
How
the
stunning for a
colours,
fresh summer's day.
right? And then we just top ourselves up with a bit of
A
soda,
little sparkling.
and I rate one will do. Be
That looks so refreshing.
good for both. And then last thing is to just give it a lift. So instead of stirring it,
Yeah.
just gonna raise the ice and let it
Okay.
drop.
All right.
Raise the ice, let it drop. That's it. Just lifting it, so I'm still keeping the delicateness of the sodas and the bubble itself. So the
Yes.
bubbles, I'm still keeping those there. Just bring like the flavors from the bottom to the top together.
Right.
Then
Just
finish
making sure
off.
it's the flavors balanced the whole way.
That's all you
through.
want.
Yeah.
Garnish,
little
like just a nice
fresh
little
mint.
tap rub. No
Yes.
more, no less. Just it's a delicate. It's beautiful, right?
So let's see that trick. Little.
No, touch it nice and easy. Don't be too rough with it. And there we go, guys. It's not jamming. Lekker. Happy days. So like again, like obviously I'm more into like consulting and that, but we do have a naughty little bar if you want to come find me. So if
I
you
do.
find yourself
Where did I
in
find you? On Friday evening, maybe?
Fridays even, only Fridays. So I got like the small little bar at Hope and Hopkins Distillery,
Yes.
this beautiful distillery out in Salt River. And every Fridays me and like my team, we run a bar there, which is called Unsalted.
Yes.
So it's really light, it's really easy, like all about classics. So like we focus on hello.
Oh, hello.
Focus on me.
I said we were focusing on classics, but here's Jenny. So let's get on
He's
this.
calling me old.
Not at all. I'm calling you on, and you baby, you're mature.
You're my baby. You're a baby.
What you got here? Please
Well, I
tell
was
me.
making soup. I was like fiddling in the kitchen here.
Okay.
Because everyone's so busy and hungry and stuff. So I thought I would just make this knorr, tomato and basil.
Cool. I
And
like
then,
that.
And then I saw you
Oh, you saw me. Who? The gentleman.
shaking
Say
it
it.
and
Say it.
shaking it.
Uh-uh.
I thought, would you have something that would go with tomato and basil?
I do actually.
You do? It's got to love
It's not
it,
going to
though.
be this guy.
No, to put that
Right?
child
It's
away.
not going to be that. It's not going to be this guy.
I'll be back. You just, I'm
You tell
watching
me.
you.
But I rate that what will be really good with it is it'll be our gin, because it'll actually open up these flavors that you have in here, and like, oh, this is a nice warm soup. So to open up these flavors and actually working with your tomato and basil, got the peachiness, so like those stone fruits to come into here will just elevate what you got going there. And it'll get those people sipping and spooning that soup a bit more jiggy and loose at the knees.
These people are going to be very loose at the hips. You better put just enough in there, not
Just
too much.
enough, just enough, right? Before you and I have a
peach,
funny
tomato, and basil, delicious. Have you got
Golden.
ice? Have you got
I
ice?
do have ice. We do have ice. We'll get the ice in
Oh,
there.
that's a generous
You're going to
dose.
walk funny after
So-
this soup.
Happy days. Well, I just saw your levels there. I thought like you had about 600 in there. I'm gonna go, but let me give it a.
Oh, you've got a
look at
stick? Of course, he's a proper barman.
that. Okay.
Cocktail barman.
Just come from across the road.
No, but you know what? Chefs would do this, and you would do that. And I would
Yeah.
take your fork and like do olives with it. You know what I'm saying?
This is how we use our tools.
I was going to lick your
And
hand,
always
but seeing
taste.
that,
Golden, bro. Golden. Yes. I got you.
but no double dipping.
No double dipping.
Let's see how far you can get that down. Like,
Ah.
oh my God. Where's
Power,
your glass,
eh?
Amy? You can't because I've licked that spoon.
I've got another one here. Oh, I don't have another one here. Oh, I do have another.
Could I make it with
we go.
canola chakalaka?
You definitely can. You actually
This is delicious. A lovely short soup.
It's so amazing. See that guy?
Ooh, and if you wanted to sweeten it up just a little bit of sugar.
That's it, a bit of sugar, but then even like if you just had like this, get you some of your jam in there.
That really works.
Add a bit of
Oh.
jam, it like gives
And
it
the
a
bites
bold
of
and a
celery.
mold. then you're on point.
That's
So, got the celery, got this. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna take this, and I'll see you guys later.
Well, hello. You have caught me in action making a smoothie to power up through the day. We're making a festive smoothie. While you're here, I might as well take you through the recipe. So what I've got is some fresh banana. We're using some Alpro unsweetened almond milk. We've got some ice, some vanilla protein powder, vegan of course, a little bit of nut butter. Here we're using peanut butter, some agave syrup and some flax seeds. And for a little bit of extra flavor, if you don't happen to have fresh berries with you, we're going to be adding some Footy's raspberry flavor. So let's start by adding our banana into our blender. You can use frozen banana as well. And ice optional. I like my smoothies to be a little bit chilled. Then we're going to be adding our almond milk, our Alpro unsweetened almond. You can also use soy milk or any plant-based milk you might like. Just about a cup of that. And then we're going to add our protein powder, of course, to help fuel us through the day, keep us feeling fuller for longer. So I'm just using a vegan vanilla protein powder, a little bit of peanut butter, because we love getting nutty in the kitchen, a little bit of agave syrup, or a sweetener of your choice, and just a tablespoon of flax seeds, extra omega-3s. And of course, our Footy's raspberry flavor. So like I was saying earlier, if you don't have fresh raspberries, you can just add a little bit of this delicious flavor. It's going to give a bang of color. So now we're going to blend this up, and we're ready. Voila! Now let's pour that and have some to fuel us through the day. So I'm just going to grab a glass over here. Delicious smoothie, look at that. Healthy and yummy, and here's one for you too. Little sprig of mint for garnish if you'd like. And cheers!
Sugar-free has never tasted this lekker. Indulge in the healthy and delicious range of Footy's products. A powder flavoring system ready to tantalize your taste buds with a flavor explosion. All natural and jam-packed with vitamin C and flavor. Create amazing Footylicious snacks. The possibilities are endless. Diabetes and ADHD friendly, we do sugar-free sweet.